Alright, so today we'll be ranking the potential of basically every single UFC prospect. We got about 70 of them right here, every single weight class. I kept it to guys who are like, low experience in the UFC, about 5-6 fights or less, not ranked. And that was basically it for the guys I was choosing. For the tier list itself, we have champ, so guys who I think could actually be champions, champ material right there. Maybe guys who are top contenders, so maybe like the top 8, 7, 8, guys who are either going to be fighting for belts, fighting in number one contender fights, or be like talks, oh, this guy's 2 fights away from a title shot. So guys who are going to be in those big fights at the top with title aspirations, true title aspirations. Then we have ranked guys who I think are going to be in the lower end of the rankings. Maybe not make it to the upper echelon of their division, but I think guys who are good enough to stay in the rankings and be around there for a while. Then we have floaters, who I think I might put a lot of guys in there who I'm a little, I don't know, I'm not too sure about them. Like if they haven't shown enough, or I want to see them against better competition, or just guys who I think may go in the rankings, be like 13, 14, 15, and may plop out at times depending on their wins, losses, and just how the division is. Then obviously guys who are unranked, guys I don't think have too much potential in the UFC. And I mean, they may be good, but maybe their division stacked, like a lightweight division or welterweight division. And then lastly, will be cut guys who I think absolutely suck. There's not many in there, but there is a couple. First up, we'll start with Islam Dulatov, the Versace model. He has a good frame, great striking from what we saw against, I think, fought Adam Fugit back in July. The thing with him is, when does he get a fight? No fight news, basically. He makes more money as a model, so I'll put him as a floater. Because also I think he's good enough to be ranked striking wise, but I want to see more of him. I'm pretty sure he's like a grappling background of some sort. I forget what it is, but I'm gonna put him in the floater. Someone who, I think may do good in their division, but I just need to see more. I'm just not sure about like his activity and stuff like that. Next up, we have Joseph Morales making a second stint. We also have the UFC rankings put up here, so we could see, hey, there's some guys who I think, maybe go back if we have a guy who I think could be ranked top contender champ, kind of look at the division and see. Joseph Morales, though, very good grappling so far in his UFC comeback. He was in the UFC years ago, lost like Figgy, someone else, and then now I was on a 2-fight win streak. Alibi Idris, who's a decent win, and then he fought Matt Schnell and just absolutely just nasty stuff. I think he's someone who could be ranked. He's only 30, His grappling looks really high level. His striking looked good actually as well. His pace against Alibi Idris. I think he's someone who could be ranked, be in that mid tier of his division, maybe a top contender, but flyweight is pretty tough right now. We're also talking about Ramazan Temirov. I'm putting him in the same exact slot. He did beat Charles Johnson. He didn't get knocked out by him, so I can't put him as champ or top contender. I think ranked for him, I think he's good, but he just got suspended, so we'll see about that. I think he looked good against Charles Johnson. Maybe I put him at floater because he did pop for some steroids. I'm gonna put him at floater. He did pop for some steroids, but yeah, I think for him we'll go floater for now. He did pop some steroids. I don't know how good he is. He only has 2 wins in the UFC, so that's someone I need to see a little bit more of. Next up, we have Jose Ochoa. I actually like Jose Ochoa. He's 1-2 in the UFC. He lost to Durden, he beat the shit out of Durden, knocked him out in the second round. Lost to Loner Kavanaugh on his debut, and then lost to Asu Mabayev on short notice. This is someone who I think flyweight's tough. I'll put him at ranked guy. He's very good, but the losses, it's kind of hard to judge off losses. He did look decent against Asu Mabayev. Almost had the fight. It was a close fight. Pretty sure it was short notice. I think Asu was supposed to fight like Tagir or something like that, or someone else. Or maybe was that Tagir versus Kyoji, and then it made into that, something like that. But I think he'll be ranked. I think he's actually pretty good. And he fights Clayton Carpenter very soon on 328, so about a month from now. Next, we have Jacob Wicklach. The RDR of bantamweight. I don't like the goofy style, almost losing to Muin Gafurov. Probably should have lost that if the judges didn't have the scorecards. The 2-1. I'm going to go. He's young, though. He beat Patchy Mix, which isn't like anything special. It's 2-0 in the UFC. I'm going to go unranked. I'm going unranked for him. Next up, we have Malcolm Wellmaker. You know, his thief of his hype, you could say, Ethan Ewing, was a pretty decently competitive fight. Yes, it was 2 days notice for Ethan Ewing, but also Malcolm Wellmaker. I'm honestly going to put Wellmaker at a floater position. I was good at thinking of this video before I was putting him at rank, because if you look at bantamweight, honestly, this is like, even David Martinez, I'm not that high on. Like, David Martinez and below is not that strong. You have Rosas, who I don't think is that good. Vinny's about a dip. Payne Talbot, I'm really high on. Montel Jackson, Farid Bashra, I don't think he's that good. Cheeto Vera. You have Figgy, Song Yadong, Ayman Zahabi. So the division is actually kind of, it's not that good, honestly, outside of a few guys in this 5 to 15 range. That may make me propel him, but he's older. He hasn't had a lot of experience. In the division, there is a lot of good prospects, so I feel like he could run into some of them and you know, get his butt kicked again. Now for Santiago Luna, he's a guy, just fought Isaiah Pacheco. Looked good. I'm not sure about his grappling, you know. But I'm not telling you, there's going to be a lot of guys in this floater position, I think. Honestly. Because it is a tough division. And it's just, like, outside of bantamweight, there's tough. It's like I said, I was saying that the rankings are hard, they aren't that good, but, you know, there's a lot of prospects in here. I'm going to put him floater. He did have a tough scrap with Isaiah Pacheco. Didn't show a lot of power in his hands. I'm not too certain about him. Now, Alexander Topuria, I'm going champ material. You see his brother. You see him. What he's shown so far is very impressive over Kobe Thickness, who isn't good, but showed his diverse skill set. Beksa Amakan, I'm not too sure about him either, but again, someone who he just has it. You could tell. Like, you see his brother, you see him, very similar in the ways they move, the way they box, the overall skill sets. He doesn't have as much power, but he does have some pop in his shots, and I think he's only 29, 30 years old. The division's a little older except for Piotr Jan and Umar, but I think he would beat someone like Umar with a few more years of experience. It's just when he will fight, like, because I know him and Ilya kind of do the thing where when one's in camp, the other isn't, you know, like, because they're each other's like head coach basically, especially Alexander for Ilya. So maybe when Ilya's out of there and Alexander's like 32, then he can make his little run for the belt. But I think he'll be a champ one day. If he's active enough and stays in the sport long enough, I think he'll be champ. Now for Hector Sosa, I'm gonna go guy. I like him, but he has no power. I'm not saying he will become. I'm saying he has no power. I'm putting him ranked. I think he's really good, actually. I'm gonna go Santiago Luna. I'm gonna move him up one as well. I think both these guys will be ranked. Honestly, like, looking at Santiago Luna, was pretty similar in terms of like very good output, you know, good boxing. Hector Sosa was very nice output, really good kicks, if I remember, to the body and stuff. He really weaponizes his pace and cardio, and I think that could wear on a lot of guys, especially someone who doesn't have power coming back. I think he is hittable, but I think he could be someone who's ranked like in the top 10 to 15 range, kind of stay there, you know. I think both these guys, Santiago Luna a little less because I'm not sure of his you know, his true potential, but Hector Sosa, I think Hector Sosa is pretty fucking good. Now out in Korea, guy trains with Josh Van. A couple nights wins, beat the shit out of Alessandro Costa. You know, really nice performance against Luis Gurul. Nice boxing, of course. I think he'll be a guy. I think he could be top contender ranked. It's a flyweight. Let me look at the flyweight rankings again to see where I put him. The division is low-key kind of. I think he could be in like a top 7 to 8 range. I'm gonna go out in Korea. Where is he? Right here. I'm gonna put him top contender range. I'm really high on him. I think he's very, very good. Really nice boxing in this division. Trains with Van, the champ. So I think he could be a top contender. He's very good. Now, Ray Surya, I don't think Ray Surya is good. I think he's gonna be unranked for a long time being. He saw bro. People bring up the like, oh, Josh Van's not gonna lose to Pantoja. He's not gonna lose to Tatsuro Taira. Just look at the Ray Surya fight. I'm like, dude, please put a fucking thinking cap on. That fight was. Those are some of the worst wrestling attempts I've ever seen from somebody. Ray Surya looked like fucking shit ass in that one, honestly. Like, no disrespect, you look like shit ass. Now Myron Santos, I think he's a guy. Basically, kind of robbed Francis Marshall, but it was a close fight. I think he is good. I think he's like a prime floater type of guy. He does have nice Muay Thai. He's built like a frog, like really long legs, short, stocky torso. I think he's a floater type of guy. Honestly, I like him, but I'll say floater. Now, Danny Silva. Danny Silva, pretty nice wins in the UFC. We go to featherweight. Like, Ortega's about to be out of there. Pitbull ain't nothing special. Onama, Emmett. But the division is kind of stacked. So I'm going to put Danny Silva in floater position. I think he's very good, but, B. Curtis Campbell. He did show a full array of skills. Actually, I'm going to put him ranked. I think he's good. Especially against Curtis Campbell. Showed he has, like, nice, boxing, dynamic striking. We saw that against Kevin Vallejos. He did lose, but it was a decently tough fight for Vallejos. And then his last fight versus Curtis Campbell, where he knocked him out. He showed good grappling instincts on the ground, being able to escape bad positions. He's had his back taken on. I think Curtis Campbell had like side control maybe, or was half guard. Like, he was in pretty dominant positions, and Danny Silva was able to escape those. Now, Tommy McMillan, I would put him unranked, but he's gonna get some Sellers treatment, so I feel like he's gonna be a floater type of guy. I would put him unranked, but like I said, he's gonna get favorable matchups. He's gonna get like one of those guys like, oh shit, we know the edge of the rankings is kind of weird, so he might have beat an unranked guy, but we'll slide him into that 15 spot, something like that. But I think he's gonna get chin. I'm not high on him, and he's a fucking cornball, so I don't know. Now, Alberto Montes did fight Ricky Tercios only in his debut, who sucks. Like, Alberto Montes showed nice boxing. He's like Ilya Aptoro, one of the other ones. Decent. Pretty good from what I saw. But again, I'm not too certain on him. I'm gonna put him floater type of guy. But more so, like, I have a lot of faith in him. Could be ranked, but I'll put a floater because I'm not sure right now. Aaron Pico, I think Aaron Pico could be a top contender in this division. I think Aaron Pico is very good. He's just chinny. I think he wins this weekend, but if he just, because the way he fights, it just opens himself up so much to counters, because he's gonna come forward a lot of pressure, just like throw a bunch of output, wrestle. He tried to use the TJ Dillashaw, like step out and got chinned, but I still think he's very, very good. He's just a glass cannon type of guy. Like, he has power as well. He's good. I think he could be a top contender. Being toxic, because I feel like he's gonna get decent privilege from the UFC. Like, he already is. He got Movzar in his debut. Then it was switched to Lerone Murphy. Now he's getting up there with Pitbull. I think Aaron Pico could be fighting for maybe not a belt, but like a big fight if he's matched up well, and someone who won't chin him pretty easily. So next up we have John Pork, the only guy who doesn't have a UFC fight on this list, but I want to include him here because I still think he could be a top contender. Saw his really nice Muay Thai world champ. He did get dropped, but the other guy's also, I think, a Muay Thai like practitioner and very high level. And he also trains with Islam and Khabib over there. I think he's gonna show great grappling, great wrestling. Like we know what these guys could do, and I think he's someone who could be a top contender. He is 30. He hasn't fought. I think it's been 6 months to the day since his contender series fight, and still nothing yet. Now Nazim Sadikov, I'm gonna go unranked. I didn't like getting dominated by Fariziam, who is good, very good. I think he'll be a top contender. And then before that, almost getting put out by Nicholas Mata. Yes, he did win that fight. Nice comeback. Nice, pull through fight of the year type of thing. But he doesn't do enough for me to be especially in how, because it also depends on the division. It's not just like the guys. Maybe if he was in a bantamweight, I'd say he'd be ranked. But lightweight, you know how many guys there are outside the rankings. Like you just saw. And then the Unks are doing their thing. Like we just saw Chris Duncan and Renato Moicano this weekend. You have Chris Duncan outside the rankings. You have so many great lightweights. You have Bahamas. You have Ludovic Klein. So many nasty guys outside the rankings. You have the Unks, Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, things like that. There's a lot of it's very tough at lightweight. That's why I'm putting Chris Padilla as well as an unranked guy. I think he'll be unranked. Maybe a floater. Maybe I put him floater, but I just think this division is gonna be very difficult to climb up and get, like, because Chris Padilla isn't the most exciting, you know. He's decent. He does nothing that like truly sticks out for me. Like, oh shit, he's great. Mason Jones, another guy who I think probably an unranked guy. You know, maybe he does have some good wins, but I don't like how he's getting hurt and hit so much. That's gonna cause him to lose fights. There's a few guys on this list like that in especially in lightweight. I'm pretty sure we have one of them coming up like very soon. And I just, when these guys who get hit a shit ton, we have another one like Marlon Rahiki's on this list. That's a guy I don't know. It's very difficult. Dante Johnson, I think, will be cut. He looked so bad versus Cody Brundage. I think he'll go on a skid. Actually, no. Will he be cut? Yeah, fuck it. I think he's gonna be cut one day. Axel Sola, unranked as well. He has RDR, long man's wiggly type of defense, where he gets hit and kind of like, like wiggles around and just saying that it gets hit too much for my liking. Now we have Cowie Fernandez, who I think has shown a good skill set so far. I'm just not sure because his wins aren't great. Like he's Harry Hardwick, Guram Kutaledze. I think he had Muhammad Yahya on his list as well. I'm going to go floater. I think he needs some better wins before I can put him I think he's going to for sure be ranked. Tom Nolan, I think, will be ranked. I'm pretty sure he's a top 15 opponent coming soon. I like Tom Nolan. A very nice all-around skill set. Dangerous on both the ground and on the feet. I think he's someone who will definitely be ranked in the future. Nurullo Aliev just fought Shamrock. Beat him up because Shamrock is a Apache mix 2.0. I think floater or ranked for him. He does show very good wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I think this is a guy who would be ranked one day. Like, or at least consistently fighting for a ranking, not just a floater. Cowie Fernandez, I'm gonna move him up more. Like, he's someone who's up here for the floaters. Someone who's like, I just need to see more for him to be ranked. Like, I need a better synopsis. You know what I mean? Now, Markel Medeiros, kind of like a Chris. I think he's going to lose to Chris Padilla, but kind of like a Chris Padilla type of situation where he just doesn't do enough for me. I think he's good, but just doesn't do enough. Bo Nickel now, in a pretty shallow middleweight division that isn't great. I think he's going to be ranked. I actually think Bo Nickel's pretty good. I don't like him too much, but I think he's good. Obviously the wrestling chops, his striking's looking better. He has room to improve. I think now with the RDR loss, he's gonna improve. I'm excited for his next fight. He's fighting Kyle Dawkins. I wish it was like a bigger step up. Like someone who's. Kyle Dawkins is good, but I wish it was just a bit bigger than that. You guys, we got left. Okay, about halfway through the list. That's a good pacing. I don't want this to be an hour-long video. Cam Rouston. I think he's good, but I need to see more of his grappling and just more of his again, he's gonna be a guy who's in this top floater range. I could separate these, but you know, floaters are guys, like I said, I need to see more of, or who I think have the skills. I just need to see more wins and stuff like that, and better wins. Some guys, obviously, in this list, they don't have as many wins, but it just depends on the division. You know, like kind of what we saw in those losses, in those wins, in those just fights in general. I want to see more. Cam Ralston on one hand, I think he's good, but Andre Petrosky and then Cody Brundage, where he did struggle a little bit against Cody Brundage, he did get a little wild. So if we look at the middleweight rankings, let me just take a peek. Like, it is a pretty hard division, and there's a decent amount of prospects in there. So I think Cam Ralston, I'm gonna go with him. I'll go with him as a floater for now. His next fight, who's he booked against? I forget who he's booked against, but let me look that up real quick, because I'm pretty sure he's fighting at Perth, which is gonna be actually a stacked card. Like, that card is great. Sadly, it starts at 4 a.m. Eastern time. He's fighting Robert Bryczek. I think that's a good matchup for him. I like that. Maybe we'll see some more out of him. Now, Yusri Boguri, 33 years old. I think for sure top contender. I'm gonna go champ material. Khamzat Chimaev will be leaving the division soon. I think after this next fight, he is going to leave the division. And I think Yusri Boguri is really fucking good. We've seen what that Glover Teixeira gym has done with Alex Pereira. We see it again with Yusri Boguri. I think if Yusri, he's looking really nice. He doesn't have as much power as Alex Pereira, which is a problem, but he's not cutting as much weight, it seems, or like really getting beat up by the weight cut at 185. So we've seen with his get-ups, his just technical abilities and his instincts on the ground with defending, his takedown defense, his striking. He's gonna be the best striker in his division. Like, he's a former fucking high-level kickboxer. I think he could be a champ in this division. Once Khamzat Chimaev leaves, he's fighting like a Imavov, a Dricus. Who else? Whoever it may be, I think he has a lot of, like, who else could he be fighting? A Strickland, like this is an open division. I think he could really make a run here and go to the top. Now we have Marco Tulio. I think will be ranked. I like Marco Tulio, very good striker. He did lose to CLD, but I did pick him against CLD. But I should have remembered he was getting rocked a lot by Trey Shangor. He is extremely hittable, a little chinny. Like, he was getting fucking jelly legged by Trey Shangor. Obviously, chin by CLD pretty bad. I think he's very good, but he's someone who's going to be ranked because of that chin and that defense, honestly. I don't see him as a top. I think he has a skill to be a top contender, but not really the chin or anything. Now, Atiba Gautier. I don't know, people might not like this, but I think he's still champ material. His physical gifts, he is a fucking anomaly, bro. A fucking anomaly physically. And he has a Sambo background. I know he didn't look good against, he didn't look as a good like a dynamic striker against Andrei Puliev, but Puliev does have good movement on the outside. He couldn't cut off the cage well, but I think those are things that are really, as a young guy, like Atiba Gautier, are really, really, learnable, you could say. Like, easy to fix. That's what I meant to say. Easy to fix. I think he could definitely fix those pretty well and be a champ one day, because he's only 23 as well. Next up, Beisinger Suzukai. A guy I'm pretty higher on than most. I think either high ranked or top contender. I'm going to go top contender because I do think he's just bullshitting in these fights. I know Eric Nolan stumbled him. I know Eric McConnell gave him a bit of trouble, but I feel like he's just bullshitting in these fights. I want to see him completely locked in. And with that, I know it's a bit weird to say, but I think he's a guy, he's going to get some treatment in this division because he's Khamzat's boy. He's already been getting it, you know. I think someone like him, he's shown really good all-around skill. And I think if he just doesn't bullshit, he could be a top contender in his division. Next up, Cesare Oleksiejczuk. I'm going to go unranked. I didn't like what I saw from him against Cesar Almeida, his last fight. He's someone who's like on the edge of being a floater. I know of Tommy McMillan up here, but I just, like I said, the privilege that he'll get. Cesare Oleksiejczuk, I could put him up here as well. I think he's good. I just need to see more. His grappling looked pretty decent. He knocked out his opponent in Contender Series in like 30 seconds. So that's somebody who I think could be a floater, could be unranked. Because like I said, the division is pretty open. It's not anything crazy in the rankings or outside. Like it is open a bit. Then you have guys like CLD, RoboCop. But like RDR, Whitaker's leaving. Costa's up in light heavyweight. Roman Dolidze sucks. Jared Cannier's old. So I think floater's a right spot for him. Next up, Baba Yaga, Damian Pinas. From what we've seen, I think top contender. His first fight with Wes Schultz had a really like springy, reactive sprawl. I think they got in like one grappling exchange where they tangled up. And if I'm not mistaken, if my memory fades me or fools me, whatever, I'm pretty sure Baba Yaga showed good defense there. Again, young, super physically gifted guy, powerful, a bit better striking dynamically than Atiba Gautier, but not as many fights. I want to see a little bit more from him against someone who wasn't fucking Ryan Hall maxing. So next up, we have Zhang Mingyang. I think just ranked is a guy like him, more higher ranked because it is light heavyweight. But I think he might struggle with some of the top guys. Like we saw, struggle with Dominic Gray or Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker figured him out that easy, got him out of there. I think the same thing could happen with some other higher level, smarter guys. Next up, Mantas Conservaticus. I'm gonna go unranked, but on the borderline of floater. I didn't like that first fight with Antonio Chicordi. Very wild, low level striking, powerful, decent grappling, but he gassed out a little bit. He looked sloppy. I didn't like it. I know it was his first fight, but Navajo Sterling, I'm going to go ranked. I think high level. High top contender. The White Izzy. I think he's very good, but there's just certain holes in his game, like the boxing and just the pressure and just dealing with scrappy chaos. But I think he could fix those things. I think he is good. He's young. I think he'll be able to fix it and improve in those areas and be a top contender, like top 8, like I was saying. Now, for Billy Elikana, I think ranked. I think he's pretty good. He had to get Bogdan Guskov's back on like 1 day's notice. Or whatever, a few days' notice. Yes, he did get dropped. But again, we got to think it's light heavyweight. He get dropped by Justin Tafa. But Justin Tafa's a good kickboxer. Then subbed him pretty easily once he got to the ground. So, that's what it is here. Next, Abdulrahman Yakayev. I think top contender, along with Igor Barnowski. I think both these guys. Igor Barnowski is a little bit less, maybe top ranked, but I'm gonna go with top contender because a lot of these guys are old in the division. They're aging out. Abdulrahman Yakayev showed a really good overall skill set, but a little bit hittable. Like he almost got chinned by Brenson Ribeiro a couple times. But I still think these two guys have a lot of potential in the division. Next up, Mario Pinto. I think a top contender. I'm still high on him. Even with it was one bad performance he had, but before that he showed really nice potential. I think I still keep him as a top contender in the heavyweight division. And then we have Breno Pericic. I think is better. Really nice showcase of striking, takedown defense, clinch work. I think will be a guy who's at the top of the division for a little while. Next up we have Josh Hokit. Also top contender I think he could be. Because again, I think he's good. He is small. But I think there's certain guys in the rankings. Maybe not a Curtis Blades. I'm not sure in that fight yet. Probably leaning Blades, but I think he's someone, his pace, he's good wrestling, I think it could really wear on guys. Be a small guy, get up in there, take you down easier. I'll put him as a top contender. Next, Steven Asplin. I think he'd be ranked. He looked pretty good against Vito Petrino. The takedown defense, the striking, just needs to work on the defense. The head movement, it was kind of That was the only problem. But he has a crazy fucking chin on him. He was eating some bombs. Some absolute bombs. Next up, Alvin Guzzi Hines. I think he'll be unranked, but I just wanted to show him in here because I love Guzzi. I saw him fight in person, International Fight Week. The crowd was loving it. And, yeah. But he just popped for steroids. So, I mean, if you need steroids, you can get out of the knees for that performance. I know it's short notice, but ain't a good look, Chief. Next up, we have Andre Lima, who, if you saw my video of Unranked Monsters back in January, one of my first videos, you know I never saw him fight live. Watch back some fights. I think he's very good. He's showing good grappling. I think a top contender, like one of the better ones here. He's young. I think he's 27. He had nice boxing, really good low kicks, good grappling. I think he's very well-rounded. And he's going to be a top contender in this division. Next for Yaroslav Amasov. I just saw a video of him not ragdolling, but out wrestling Hamzat in like Thailand or something like that. He's only like 30, I think. I know he doesn't have the greatest resume, but because it's Bellator and shit, but I'm gonna put him top contender. I think with the grappling chops he has, dominating Neil Magny. Like the guys who dominate Neil Magny, those are guys who become top contenders. I think Yaroslav Amasov could reach the top 8 and be in big talks for like, this guy's gonna fight a fucking Michael Morales or Ian Gary, like something like that. I think he's very good. I'm excited to see it. I think he beats Joel Alvarez as well. He's fighting him next, so I think he beats him. Next up, Dakota Hope. I think Dakota Hope is a good floater type of guy, but a higher up because he did look good. Like I said, I need to see more from him because he did look good against Kaikamaka early. Hurt him. Really powerful, nasty boxing, but good clinch work. Really good clinch work as well. But just gassed out. It was short notice, which doesn't like really fit his style at all. So I think, floater is good for him. Now Jacoby Smith, I'm not too sure because he does look. I'm gonna put him. Welterweight is pretty stacked. I'm gonna go ranked for now. He is very athletic, physically gifted, skilled, powerful, good strike. I'm gonna go top contender. I think he's gonna be high up in this division. Really, he's very good. Good wrestling, good striking. I think top contender is good for him. He has a physical gift too. He's like an Atiba Gatier, Damian Pinas, just a really physically gifted specimen. Now for Elijah Smith, I'm gonna go ranked. I think he's a skill set to become top contender, but I want to see more a little bit in this because he's been in bad positions grappling wise, and bantamweight there's a lot of good grapplers there. So top contender, probably, but I'm gonna put him ranked for now. I want to see a little bit more from him. You know what I mean? Next up, we have Killen Salkiot. I think top contender for sure. Top contender for sure. I think he beats Benil Dariush. He gets one more fight, and then he's already there, top contender. It is a tough division, but I think like if you guys like Dan Hooker, Patty Pimblech, even a BSD, she maybe beat in a little bit, but Fazeev, I think Killen Salkiot's very good. He's shown a good wrestling, grappling, striking. He's got some power in his hands. I think he's very good. And like the division, there's some openings for him I could see, and he's fighting Benil Dariush. Already in a rank shot. I think he'll be top contender pretty soon. Like I said, the top 8 looking for big fights to get closer to title, like true title aspirations for these top contender guys. Maybe I'll move Auden Korea down. I think it's good for him. Flyweight is tough. I'll put him in ranked. I think it'll be ranked. Same thing with. I want to see more. Next, Imanol Rodriguez in flyweight. I'm gonna go floater. I need to see more. He fought Kevin Borjas on his debut, who never has had an easy fight in his life. I think he's fighting. Is he fighting Andre Lima next? I think he might be fighting Andre Lima next. I think that was switched. I know it was Dong Hung Choi, but I think it's now Dong Hung Choi dropped out, and Imanol stepped in, or not Imanol. Kevin Borjas stepped in, but he did get hurt. He's very wild, very defensively irresponsible when he comes in, which is work. He does his best work when he's aggressive, coming in, kind of like an Aaron Pico, but obviously we've seen a lot less against a higher or less competent guy, you could say. So I'm gonna go floater for Imanol Rodriguez. I think he's very good though. Next, Luke Riley. floater. Same thing with Tommy McMillan. I don't think he's that good. He actually is better than Tommy McMillan, I'll say. But I just don't like his defense. He's not like he's a good boxer, but I don't like his defense. He's a huge head as well, like a really big head. I don't like his defense, and I think he's gonna get exposed at 145. His wrestling too. He didn't. I don't know. Shit, I forgot about that. He did get wrestled and kind of controlled by Bogdan Grad, who is pretty decent himself, but I think it will show soon. But I think he's gonna get that privilege where it's like, okay, we're gonna give you some nice matchups. Yeah. Javier Reyes, I think he's gonna be cut. I think he's gonna go on a losing streak and be cut. He looked like shit. That was one of the shittiest fights I've ever seen against Douglas Silva de Andrade. Small ass dude, and he's getting almost chin. He's fucked. Next up, Manuel Sosa. I think he's gonna be ranked. I saw his fight with Balaji Oki. Bro, to be able to keep up that power and that pressure, that pace for 3 rounds, super impressive. I'm surprised if he doesn't. I won't be surprised if he pops for steroids soon. But I think he's someone who could be ranked like right on the edge of the rankings. He looked really fucking good in my opinion. And we're talking about the guys like a Mason Jones, a Chris Padilla, not maybe Mason Jones, Alex Sosola. He could beat them because of his ability to just be more defensively responsible and kind of take their best punches. Now Marwan Rahiki, I'm gonna go unranked just because again he's someone who gets hit way too much, way too much. The durability is a bit of a question as well. He fought Harry Hardwick, but he doesn't hit hard at all. If you fight someone who hits hard, maybe fucked. Now Mick the Black Orobai, top contender, I think. Top contender. I think his wrestling is so high level. Yes, he's a bit hittable, but he has power in his hands as well. What he did against Chris Curtis was extremely impressive. A guy coming down from middleweight as well. I think he's gonna be up. He's gonna be up there real soon. I wonder who he's gonna fight next, but just dominated Chris Curtis. 20 takedowns, I think it was. Very impressive from him. Next up, we have Ty Miller. I'm gonna go unranked. I don't know. Bit of a scrap with Adam Fuji getting hit. Floater. I want to see more of him. This is the thing. I need to see more. Jonathan Mikalev, I think will be again another floater. His boxing defense looked terrible versus Oban Elliott, but he's big, nasty kicks. Look at the welterweight rankings. Oh yeah, I think a floater. I think he might be in and out of there a couple times because I think his boxing defense is kind of ass, but he has good kicks. Really, he's decent grappling. He's shown. Next, JPL. I think I'll say unranked because he is very small. Bit hittable. We saw it with Phil Rowe in the last round. I need to see more. From him, but decent. But he's very small. Or maybe it was just Phil Rowe making him look small. Next up, we have Seokyeong Ko. Really nice grappling so far. Very sticky. But I want to see more of the striking. I'm going to put him in floater as well. I think he'll be in and out. As of right now. I need to see more, really. Next up, for Lassine Kita, I think he's going to be ranked one day. I think he'll be in the rankings. He is very good. He's shown to be very, very good. Where's he fighting? Octagon. And then Nathaniel Wood had a very competitive, close fight with him. Nathaniel Wood's a tough debut opponent. I like Lassine Kita. I think he showed a good... If he learns something, stop winging on every punch so much, I think he'll be fine. He showed good cardio as well. I think he'll be good. Next up, Ethan fucking Ewing. Top contender, borderline, champ fucking level. Holy shit. What a performance from him this weekend. Rafael Esteban stuffed the takedowns, nasty boxing, great head movement, composed, amazing corner work as well. I think he has what it takes to be a true top contender fighting for a title, fighting with Alexander Topuria for the title one day. But I'm going to go top contender for now. Like a really top contender. Next we have Le'Veon Douglas. I'm going to go ranked. Again, we need to see more, but from what I saw, pretty fucking nasty boxing. Nasty, like powerful. He was just throwing Julian Erosa around with his jab. was very impressive to me. Very, very impressive. So next up, we got Danil Donchenko. I'm gonna go unranked for him. Bit of a marauder, but scrap with Alex Morono didn't show too crazy power. Hit a lot. I think a welterweight division. I think there's a lot of guys who could beat him, and I want to see his grappling tested more as well. Jose Delgado, I'm going unranked as well. I was never too high on him, but after his last performance, neither Andre Fili was outboxing him pretty easily. He seemed predictable. He wasn't too impressive to me, honestly. I mean, Jose Delano, I think he could be a floater type. I like Jose Delano, but I think there's somebody who's gonna match him in the boxing skill, but be more powerful. Match him in the output, but be more powerful. And kind of keep him. I think there's gonna be a lot of times where he's like kept outside the rankings because someone matches him in his skill level and just more powerful, more damaging on his strikes. Maybe Esteban Ribovics. I think he's a true floater. I don't know if he'll beat Gamrot this weekend. I'm not certain on that fight yet, but I think in and out is a kick because he's hittable. He doesn't have a lot of power or pop. We'll see this weekend. I think this weekend could either change it to ranked or floater. I want to say top contender. I like Esteban Ribovics, but we'll see how he does with the Gamrot test. Ludovic Klein couldn't pass it, so I want to see if Esteban can pass it as well. Now, lastly, Lance Gibson, Bobby Green's victim, Chase Hooper's father. I'm gonna go unranked. I think he's decent, dangerous, good Muay Thai, but could see more, especially in a stacked lightweight division. I'll go unranked for him. So that's my whole list. It is a difficult list to do, so I want to do it. I think it'll be pretty fun. So that's it. I'll see you Thursday for my year